From a fighter admitting they drink urine for their physical fitness, to another literally running away before a decision, here are the most bizarre UFC moments from cage fights to press conferences.
Why are you asking questions in English? Anderson sits here like he doesn't understand you.
First, there's Chael Sonnen's fake championship belt. Tons of weird things have happened at UFC press conferences, but this one kind of takes the cake. Why? Well, right off the bat, if there's someone like Chael involved, you know it's going to be crazy. This happened all the way back in 2012, but the shock factor is just timeless. Okay, so let me set the scene for you. At UFC 117, it was Sonnen versus Anderson Silva, and it was intense. By that, I mean we all thought the American gangster was going to win until he succumbed to a triangle choke in the final round.
Watch the right hand of Chael Sonnen.
Naturally, Silva went home with the middleweight belt around his waist. Or did he? Sonnen begged to differ. You won't believe what he did. It literally had people questioning his sanity. At the press conference on Fox News soon after, he arrived wearing a belt, which was a complete copy of the middleweight champion's belt. For his fans, this was like a silly little joke he made, while others thought he had completely lost his mind. Either way, I'm sure we all got secondhand embarrassment. This next situation is way more awkward though. The lights went out at UFC Fight Night 21. Everyone wants a good walk-in moment, right? It's a ritual many fighters and their fans take very seriously. You gotta admit, you've got a favorite entrance.
Stefan Skyscraper Struve, Roy Big Country Nelson.
Poor Roy Nelson and Stefan Struve didn't get to have their moment though, all because of a power malfunction at the Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. The entire arena went pitch black just moments after the two of them walked in, and of course, it threw them off. For the audience, it was just a simple matter of not being able to see. But for the fighters, oh my god, it was way more than that. First of all, they were all sweaty and riled up from their pre-warm-ups. Once it went dark, they didn't have the heat of the lights to keep them warm. Not to mention the fact that they were shirtless too. So yeah, they were literally shivering. You might be thinking this was a momentary hang-up and didn't have much effect on the fight. But nope, Struve didn't have a fighting chance. He was knocked out in the first 49 seconds. And some people think it was because the lights were out. Well, the reason for his mental state is debatable, but one thing's for sure, this was super awkward.
Bam!
Speaking of weird moments, the next one's gonna make you feel horrible for MMA interviewers. I swear, the things they have to hear. Like when Lyoto Machida revealed he drinks pee. Right off the bat, you know the guy has a reputation for being a wild card. His style is a mix of unique and dangerous.
Well, with all due respect to Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, Mr. Lyoto Machida.
Most people think it's because of his roots in karate. I mean, have you seen his counter-striking skills? Anyway, he revealed that a huge reason why he's so good is because he drinks his own urine. Hear him out, guys. This doesn't sound all that glamorous or hygienic, but the fighter believes it gives him his strength.
It's gonna keep you healthy, and that's exactly what he did. He drank the urine, and within a few days, a few weeks, his cough went away and didn't have that problem anymore.
He revealed that his dad passed this tradition down to him, and he held off on telling the fans because he didn't know how they'd take it. Anyway, the truth is out there. He drinks his own urine every morning, daily. Talk about getting a taste of your own medicine, am I right?
Frustrated Bader charged forward and paid a heavy price.
Me on the Ultimate Fighter again.
While this is a strange pre-fight ritual, stranger things have happened in the octagon. I bet you've never heard of something this desperate. James Chaney went in for a bite mid-fight. I wish I was kidding, but it's real, folks. I suppose that desperate times call for desperate measures. It looks like Chaney was a little too hungry to win. What happened was that he was up against John Manley, and he had him in a guillotine choke, which he just couldn't break free of. So what was the most natural solution for Chaney? Chomp down on Manley's ribcage, apparently. Don't worry, the fighter explained himself to MMA Weekly afterwards, but it didn't help his case too much, if I'm being honest.
He mounts him, puts him in a guillotine.
And then he bit me. I had him tight in a guillotine. and I think he ended up freaking out or whatever.
He told them that he had spat his mouthpiece out to buy himself time and was completely desperate. Plus, he said he didn't have any clarity of mind. If he did, he wouldn't have done something so insane. Brownie points for him being self-aware at least. But at the end of the day, he did bite an opponent. While I'm on the topic of unconventional fighting methods, you won't believe what Greg Jackson said. He told Georges St-Pierre to fight with his groin. Again, no joke. I bet you're wondering what the context is. Well, down to brass tacks. GSP tore his groin muscle at UFC 100 and naturally told his coach about it between rounds. Since Jackson's a veteran, he did what any coach would do. Told him it didn't matter at all, even though it was really serious. Come on, tearing a muscle down there has gotta be extremely painful. Anyways, Jackson gave his fighter a super passionate speech to hype him up. But his wording, a little unconventional if you ask me. At the end, everyone could clearly hear him tell GSP to hit him with your groin.
I don't care, George. Hey, look at me. This is where champions are made. You understand me?
Yeah.
Nothing matters now. Hit him with your groin.
That's one way to boost morale, I'll say that, making your opponents afraid of your big package. I've never heard of that tactic till now. If you think this is crazy, there's another fighter who just took it to another level. I bet you've never heard of this style choice. Dennis Hallman wore man panties in the cage. If you've seen UFC 133, you've probably been scarred for life. Not because of the man panties, just the fact that Hallman's junk kind of slipped out in the middle. Let me get one thing straight. Hallman didn't make the choice willingly. He wore those panties because he lost a bet. But I don't think there were any winners in this bet because the whole world got to see a little too much of Dennis. The fighter told MMA Junkie that he wasn't too regretful about it because he's not the first guy to wear a Speedo. And a slip-up is natural. It happens. But come on, nobody wants to see that. After this happened, Dana White permanently banned Speedos in the cage. And if this wasn't enough, you'll be surprised to know that his opponent, Brian Ebersole, was awarded a bonus for beating him. And guess what the title was called? Get those horrible shorts off TV as soon as possible. Yikes. As embarrassing as this was, nothing's more embarrassing than spitting in the face of sportsmanship. You won't believe what Forrest Griffin did. He ran away before the decision. A classic case of not being able to own up to your own assumed loss. At UFC 148, the fighter didn't feel like hearing the decision because he thought he lost to Tito Ortiz and ran to the back. Dana White literally ran after him, dragged him back to the octagon where they gave him the decision victory. If that's not crazy enough to witness, he did something else that was just out of pocket. This was Ortiz's last fight, and he was supposed to be interviewed by Joe Rogan and give a speech to his fans. That is until Griff raced towards him and snatched the mic from Rogan and started conducting the interview himself. It was a bizarre interview, and he completely robbed the fighter of his moment. Not cool, man. Anyway, these were the most bizarre UFC moments.